I love I love the smell of duck talk in the morning. Smells like victory. This is the Oregon Fan Show, and we have K Bez back for a special update on what's going on with the Ducks. KB, how are you?
I'm doing good, Dale. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on this great morning. I feel good. I hope everybody's doing well, and football season is upon us.
What makes it a great morning other than football being 23 days away?
Just being able to wake up, be thankful for another day on this beautiful earth, and like I said again, being able to talk Ducks football with you and everybody in our community. Just can't complain. Can't take words can't describe it.
An attitude of gratitude will take you a long way in life.
Absolutely.
All right, man, let's get into it. A lot of developments in Oregon practice this week. Talk about a couple that are really standing out to you.
I mean, for me, it starts off again with the O line. I mean, obviously, you're hearing great things about the offensive line. Obviously, Nacho's emergence, Tommy Tofi, obviously, Poncho there to lead the way, Fox Crater. But just hearing so many great things, listening to Elite Terry a couple days ago, just give a firm update on where things are and how things are standing. And like you said, just giving the optimism to the fan base to know that, again, we're not gonna miss anything. We're gonna hit our stride and we're just ready to rock and roll. When the pads come on and it's time to get going, you're going to see the Oregon Ducks offensive line and football team that's just ready to go.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. I'm really encouraged by that development on the offensive line. Ali Terry said this week that Tommy Tofi and Emmanuel Ihanacho, could start this year.
That's that's amazing news to hear if you're an Oregon fan, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's nice to always get quality players. Sometimes you have older players, you get players out the transfer, but when you can actually recruit your own talent and they're good enough to play as true freshmen, as the saying goes, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And that's Elite Terry's literal grandstand of how we're doing things. I'm not mad. Let him go out there, get his bumps and bruises, make mistakes here and there. I'd rather that with them than some of my older guys who have more experience playing. I couldn't be happier.
I totally agree. The Jalen Lott clips have been really encouraging as well.
It's amazing to see the type of talent that these young people have. But for him in particular, I can only imagine what it would have looked like if he was here for spring ball. Because if he were here for spring ball, I think we'd be having a couple more different conversations about what that wide receiver room could potentially be. But the fact that he showed up on campus, started hitting the ground running, is making some of these amazing plays truly speaks to how talented he truly is. And I'm thankful he's in an Oregon uniform. I'm really thankful about having him in the fold with us for the next 3 to 4 years.
Another guy, a track champion, 10-4 speed, elusive, a 5-star receiver. What a room the Ducks have at receiver.
I can't remember in all my years of being a Duck fan having a room this talented at the wide receiver position as we have it right now. Like it just boggles my mind to look at the names on this roster up and down. I'm just like, I cannot remember a year where we had this much talent in that room. I can't.
Explosive, just explosive. Um, Kendra Harrison made a nice play the other day.
He's a solid young man. Obviously has a lot of God gifted talent, but I think when you get his body right and he gets to know the system and how we do things, the sky's the limit for him. Because I see another Kenyon Sadiq style when it comes to him. Because again, go from Terrence Ferguson to obviously Kenyon Sadiq and now Jamari, and having this young man right behind. It's amazing how much talent we're truly bringing in on a year by year basis now. It's I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
It really is incredible. KB, I lost you on the screen. Why aren't you on the screen? How the
Uh,
heck did I do that? Well, it's
Not sure. I'm still here though. I'm still
I
here.
Well, I hear your voice, and it's great to hear your voice. Let's try stop sharing. We were talking off the air about sometimes when you change one thing with technology, another thing boofs up. A classic example of that. Let me see here. I'm going to try and remove you and get you back and see if that does it. Okay, maybe I'm in the wrong format. Good Lord. What's going on with that? Let's try. There you are. We got you back wearing the Giants jersey.
1000%.
Whatever happened with Kayvon Thibodeau? I thought he was going to be a perennial all pro player, and it's just sort of up and down with him.
I gotta tell a lot of my friends and family members, compared to college and the NFL, you gotta land in the right situation. And as high as the pick and the prospect that he was coming out of Eugene, coming to New York, I just think timing is everything. The previous regime, the front office, everything just didn't move in the same direction. Now, obviously, they have John Harbaugh in town. They're giving everybody a clean slate and a clean opportunity to truly show what type of talent they have. I obviously have think the world of Kayvon, but again, it's a new regime and a new sheriff in town. He's got to prove to them and John Harbaugh that he's worth the extension and worth continuing his career in New York. Because again, he has the talent. You just got to prove. You just got to show them that you're worth it.
He does. He had a game, it was last year or the year before, where he just dominated like a sack and a strip sack. And that's the way he could play week in and week out.
Oh yeah, I was at the Commanders game when they went to DC to play them, and he got that strip sack on Tyler Haneke. I was actually on the opposite end zone when he did that, and I was elated. It was all the Giants fans around me. It was a cold game, and we won that game, but I loved every minute of seeing our team and seeing Kayvon make big time plays on that stage. It was amazing.
He's a dynamic guy. I loved watching him at Oregon, and I wish him well. Is this his contract year?
Yes, it is. Yes, it most definitely is. So again, we'll see what he does. If I remember correctly, I don't believe the Giant. I think the Giants did pick up his fifth year option. So again, he's going into year five now in New York, and we'll see where the chips fall.
I didn't lead with it, KB, because I don't like to stir up the noise all that much. But because it happened and because it was a moment of panic for Oregon fans, what do you think about the whole Jordan Davison is injured, Jordan Davison is not injured stuff?
Well, you know us, Dale, being Duck fans. Anytime we hear any type of news, that we take it like we lost a family member. It hurts. It definitely demoralizes the fan base, and it takes us some time to obviously move forward. I would say when I first heard it, I was like a lot of fans. I was in denial. I didn't believe that it was actually true. And then obviously as reports started coming out and you started getting some more confirmation, it kind of felt like, wow, that sinking stomach feeling like, wow, this really could affect our season. But then, at the blink of an eye, it kind of turned, and there was more reports saying, "Hey, let's hold on and wait and see what potentially could happen." And then hearing that he was actually in practice and seeing the photos and the videos, that was intentional. That was intentional by our media team to show, "Hey, he's not hurt. He's fine. Obviously a little dinged up, whatever it may be, but we're good to go." So again, just the panic that sits in our fan base is normal because again, we're so used to having certain things taken away from us that it kind of becomes like a normal thing for us. So I took it like everybody else, but I was very happy to hear that he was okay and to see the visuals that he was okay kind of calmed me down a lot more as we went through the rest of the day.
Not so fast, my friend. You know,
Yep.
it's funny. It's funny about being a Duck fan, KB. It's like we all have the scab on our forearm and we pick at it. And whenever bad news or a rumor about bad news hits, we're just ready to overreact.
That is the landscape of our team, but it's the landscape of college football. Anytime that you hear something, or I should say, sports in general, anytime you hear some negative news, the first thing your mentality goes to is, "What now? What do we do now?" It's literally reminds me of that the Office episode where it was telling everybody to calm down, everybody stay calm, and clearly we're not able to maintain our emotions in that moment. So like literally, it always brings me back to that: stay calm, everyone, stay calm. What's the procedure?
As a group, we have a great gift for panic. And I think, like you said, it comes out of our history.
Yes. I mean, I hate to take it back this way, but I still remember when Dennis Dixon tore his ACL and he played on it and he continued to push, and it still sits in my mind to this day. If we beat Arizona, there's no doubt in my mind we're going to the BCS championship. We're going to play for a national championship and potentially win that year. That always sits in my mind, that Dennis Dixon ACL injury.
Absolutely. That '07 team was maybe the best team Oregon had until now. I mean, that was a great group. And they ran for like 470 yards against Washington. Just like I think it was 6 rushing touchdowns, just destroyed them. They destroyed Michigan in the big house. I mean, my goodness. Dennis Dixon with those Statue of Liberty fakes, that was awesome stuff.
Hey, what a time! What a time to be alive and be able to see it. It was beautiful stuff. But like I said again, the heartbreak and the agony of losing Dennis Dixon, who got hurt a couple weeks earlier, I think in the Arizona State game, and
Yeah.
still played on it. I was like, man, that's a tribute to his type of talent and his type of ability. And I was like, he played on a basically a torn ACL at the time is insane. But then, like I said, going down in the Arizona game, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it. Our season's over. Nothing to be proud of. Nothing to be happy. Throw it all out. Like literally, throw it all out. We're done. And I held on to that for a little bit of time. It really hurt.
Yeah, you feel it deep. It's really hard to let go of it. At the time Dixon got hurt, he had 20 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And just a few plays before he collapsed on the turf on the keeper, he had a 39-yard touchdown run on a torn ACL. I mean, the dude was special. He was special.
Thinking back now and looking into that class and that group of Heisman, if he didn't tear his ACL, he had a legitimate chance to possibly win the Heisman as well. There was a lot at stake, and again, that injury, just unfortunate timing for him and for the team, just literally turned our entire season. But had he stayed healthy, ooh, we would have had a chance to hoist that trophy and him potentially win our first Heisman at the time.
We've had a lot of broken moments as a fan base, and I remember the lead up to the game against Indiana in the Peach Bowl, and just the gathering gloom as news came out that Noah Whittington wasn't going to play and Jordan Davison wasn't going to play, and that Jaden Lamar is entered the transfer portal. That was cruel, and it just was like little, death by 1,000 cuts.
Literally, literally, because what you started with in that running back room was night and day by the time you got to that room, because literally more than half the room was gone. I think what then we have to convert Brandon Platt over to an emergency running back as well. We convinced Jay Harris to stay and play. Like it's ridiculous to even say those things, but that's how bad our room was and how we had to literally change the direction of how we wanted to play that game just based off of all the injuries and all that transpired within that time.
And Dier Hill, who's going to be a great player. I mean, he's on a path to become one of the most explosive players in college football. But at that point, he was a third or fourth team running back, guy who had made a bunch of big plays. He had like 4 runs over 40 yards, but he had not been used a lot in pass protection.
Oh yeah, you heard Coach Sam mention that a couple times. That again, his pass pro definitely needed improvement. I think the speed of the game and how the game is played in high school compared to what you're doing at the Power Four level, especially at the elite level, night and day. Because I remember even same thing when Noah first got here a couple years ago. He had to work on his pass pro because that was one of the main things that kept Bucky Irving ahead of him on the depth chart and things like that. But again, as he improved and got better over the years, like even remember what that Oklahoma State game where he picked up that block to protect Dante on that throw on the sideline to DeCorian. That doesn't happen if Noah doesn't pick up that pass pro.
When Dante Moore made his announcement that he was coming back, Dan Lanning jumped on his desk and screamed. And Dier Hill went up to Dante Moore a day or two later and said, "I'm going to work on my pass protection."
Absolutely. When you have that elite talent at your disposal. You want to do everything to keep it upright and keep it going. And he knows essentially, no block, no rock. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, the entire team knows that. Dante's a special talent, and if he's going to do anything to lead this team anywhere, this is what he's going to have to do. So
Ducks have a lot of guys who are committed to growth and always looking to become great players.
I love it. Again, it's the culture setting, it's the building of men and showing them that again, if you want to achieve your highest goal, you have to work together to maintain that. And I think that's where this team is separated from a lot of the previous teams that we've had because they understand the determination is to get to that goal. So you got to sacrifice. You got to put it all together.
You made a point earlier. I will always have a special respect for Jay Harris. I mean, a role player who came back and suited up for a big game when he had entered the portal and was looking for a new spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For him to land at K State and give himself an opportunity at leading that team based off of what he did with us and how he handled himself, class personified as a young professional to go out there, take his lumps and understand, hey, I might not get to play right away, but when my time comes, I got to take advantage of it. Got nothing but the absolute utmost respect for him, and I wish him the best of luck this year at K State. I will be watching to see how he and a couple other previous Ducks will do, but for him especially, I will definitely be keeping a watchful eye on him, and I wish him nothing but the best out there.
Once a Duck, always a Duck. And for that guy, who when the Ducks really needed him, he stepped up. I'm really rooting for him. I'm also interested to see how Austin Novosad does as a starter at Bowling Green. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
He had talent when he was here, but as we always say, it's hard to get on that field, especially when you have the likes of a Dante Moore and now Dylan Raiola transferring in and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be hard for some of these young people to get on the field. Not everybody can play. And we've seen that in previous instances with previous players and stuff like that, from the Jay Butterfields to Luke Moga. And like I can name a host of players. The young man that's down at Cal now. Um, he wanted to play and clearly seeing what was in front of him, so it was going to be a challenge to get on the field knowing that Dante was in front of him. So again, as much as we recruit the talent and we want to keep holding on to them and having the retention, it's hard because everybody wants to play. And now, you got that 5-for-5 deal when it comes to your eligibility. But again, if there's talent in front of you and you can't beat it out, your clock is ticking.
It's interesting. Oregon's developed this system where they have a guy come in and sit and grow, and then Dante Moore did it, and now Dylan Raiola's doing it. It's kind of genius.
It's really a testament to again the culture and the relationships that you build with these people. Because again, when Dante did it, we all looked at him like he was crazy. Like, why would you sit a year knowing that you're going to lose out on time? You could potentially lose out on NIL, but look at how it worked out for him. It parlayed him into a great season that he had last year, and potentially could have went to the draft had he wanted to. But again, sometimes the road less traveled and less desired is the best one for you.
I've always thought that it's great the way the Ducks now they develop guys, they get guys drafted, they get guys paid, and they also get guys in a position where they get featured as a number two guy. Blake Purchase and Tioni Gray and some of these other guys got paid this year because they started as Ducks.
I mean, again, that's definitely some great shoes to fill, knowing that again, those guys had our front line not been where they were and wanted to come back, those guys would be potentially starters and impact players on this year's team. But again, when you got that much talent in the room and those guys say, hey, I want to come back, I want to run it back for a chance at a national title, you got to make a business decision. You got to figure out, do I want to stay in the role that I'm in, or do I want to try and excel somewhere else? Like you said, Tiona Gray landing at Notre Dame. I'm hearing he's probably going to be a starter. Blake Purchase, impact player down at Ole Miss. Like, these guys aren't going to bad positions. They're going to places where they're going to be able to play right away. And, I tip my hat off to them and say thank you for your time with us, but I wish you the best of luck.
And Oregon was a springboard. That's got to help in recruiting. Yeah, it's not only a place where you can star; it's a place where you can further your career.
Absolutely. At 1,000%, absolutely. Like I said again, it's not the ducks of old. It's not our mom and pops and aunties and uncles and grandpas ducks anymore. This is a legitimate elite program that people are looking at every day. If you hear something about Oregon, eyes are on us. Eyes are on us for the smallest thing. Eyes are on us.
Did you see the photo of Matthew Johnson the other day, lined up at the line of scrimmage, and those 30-inch pythons that he has?
I would hate to be on the opposite side of that line, knowing that when that ball is snapped, I have to deal with this mammoth of a human being in front of me, and I have to try to stop him, whether it be through a run that he's trying to open up or through pass pro. That's not a line that I want to be on.
He's up to 321 pounds, I think it is. I think he's the next Derek Harmon, the next Amari Washington.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to move people. He's a people mover. And as we always say, whenever you have a grown man like that can move you, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a huge problem. And like I said again, I would hate to be on the offensive line knowing that this is who I have to line up against because he's going to physically move me and there's nothing I can do about it. He's going to move me against my own will.
That brings up another point that these young offensive linemen the Ducks have, everybody's worried about they'll be and how well they'll grow to be ready. Man, they have a proving ground every single day. They got to go up against Matthew Johnson and Amari Washington and Bear Alexander. They'll be ready.
Like Dan says, good on good. Iron sharpens iron. The best way to get better is by going up against the best that you see every single day. So again, if you're able to do it against our defensive line, there should be no problem when you play against other teams. Yeah, now obviously health and repetition matters, but good on good every single time. Don't complain about it. You asked for it. You wanted to be here. Welcome.
Yeah,
Embrace it.
I love this culture they have where you have to earn it.
Mhm.
Your stars, they were dropped at the front door the minute you first entered the building.
Yep. I've always told that to young individuals and in any sport, in any walk of life. All the accolades and the achievements that you had, the minute that you walk into a group with other individuals in that setting, what you did before doesn't mean anything. You're equal, you're on the same playing field as everyone else, and everything else at this point is earned, not given. I tell that to my kids, I tell that to everyone that I come around. Everything needs to be earned, not given.
How many kids do you have?
I have two. I have two.
All right. How are they doing?
Doing well. I have an 18-year-old that just graduated, looking forward to extending his career into the Air Force. And then I have a 15-year-old that is starting her sophomore year.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for your son's service. And
Appreciate it.
I bet you're an amazing dad. You seem like you're just so even keel.
I am. Obviously, I have a lot of high energy when it comes to sports, but when it comes to like family and just being able to indulge myself with that stuff, I'm just a regular dad at that point. I just want to see everyone around me just thrive and just enjoy their moment. I tell them I had my moments to shine. I enjoyed my youth. Now it's time to just enjoy the next phase of my life, which is just being a parent and being a leader for young people.
In your profession, do you work with young people?
Yes, I work with children.
All right. That's pretty awesome. I just it's really satisfying as a parent when you get to the point where your children have found their path and they've established their own identity and they have a foundation you built for them, but now they're just ready to fly.
It's funny because a lot of people always tell me that my kids take a lot of the personality that I provided and they put it in their own spin of things. And I tell everybody, you want your kids to be the best version of themselves while maintaining a little bit of you in them. Because again, anytime my son or daughter do something, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's just like you," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's like me, but it's actually them. It's who they are, not who I am or who I want them to be. It's who they are."
I like that. And I love it when you get to the point in their lives where they come back around and you can sit down and have a cold drink or a cup of coffee and just talk and discover what amazing people they've become.
Absolutely. Again, you thrive for them to be the best version of themselves. And when you hear it, like I said, you just tip your cap off, kind of pat yourself on the back and say, I helped to achieve that. But like I said, again, that's with any young individual that crosses my path. I want to see them become the best version of themselves. And when they come back to me and tell me, hey, I've done this, I've done that, it just brings me joy to let them know, or let them know that I truly care about seeing their growth as an individual. So again, I appreciate it, and I'm thankful to impact people's lives the way that I do.
Well, KB, thank you for your service. What other developments are you following around fall camp?
Honestly, looking to see what we're gonna do when it comes to our defensive back positions. Obviously, everybody wants to know what's gonna happen with that star slash nickel position. Obviously, I know Dan said that Davion Benjamin has been playing a lot of the star position. So again, who wins that battle? Is it him? Is it the veteran Carl Williams? What happens there? Obviously, listening to them say Braden Platt's gonna miss a little bit of time. So what happens to that depth in in that linebacker room, as we mentioned before? Because obviously if Devin Jackson is as healthy as he says he is, and then obviously Joe Mixon, what happens in the two deep? Who's next in line? Dylan Williams, Gavin Nix, stuff like that. So again, just looking at these position battles as we get ready to go into what our first scrimmage, I believe this upcoming weekend. So what happens in those position battles?
My heart hurts for Braden Platt. I mean, that guy has got physical tools like crazy. He's like 6'2, 235. He was a shot put and discus champion in high school. He ran for about 1,200 yards at Yelm, Washington High School. And the guy just cannot catch a break.
It's unfortunate because again, we see all these guys that come in with boatloads of talent and they just want to put it on display, but certain things just kind of stop them, kind of like Dink Riggs. He said it yesterday in his interview about how he came in ready to go and then the unfortunate injury happened with his foot, and it's just he hasn't been able to hit the ground running, no pun intended, but he hasn't been able to hit the ground running the way that he wants to. And then like I said again, just being ready for the moment. Again, that's what I always say is when your opportunity gets called, your number gets called, be ready for the moment because again, we always know it does come around. It does come full circle.
Well, there will be plenty of moments. I can't wait until the moments start. And I really appreciate having a chance to discuss those moments with you. It was really generous of you to hop on like this and talk with me.
I appreciate it anytime. Thank you for having me. And like I said, again, go Ducks.
Show contributor, show regular, and show expert, KBez23. You see his contact information down there in the scroll. He is one of the good guys in the Oregon fan community, which is the most special fan community in the country.
Top notch. One of one.
Thanks, KB. It was great to talk with you again.
Thanks for having me, Dale.